Hare Krishna.
Thank you. May I make a quick introduction, Prabhu? Hare Krishna devotees, thank you all for coming to this wonderful program. So it is my absolute privilege and honor to welcome His Grace Gauranga Prabhu to Hare Krishna Temple of Austin. So Prabhu, on behalf of our temple, we like to express my sincere gratitude for you to come here and give your association. Here is a brief bio of Prabhu. He has unlimited glories, but it's a short description of Prabhu's bio. His Grace Gauranga Prabhu, a graduate from Hare, Bombay, is a monk, author, mindful meditation expert, sustainability and climate warrior, as well as social welfare catalyst. A member of ISKCON's GBC, he is actively involved in enhancing leadership, effectiveness and governance of temples and communities globally. He is the director of Govardhan Eco Village, a United Nations World Organization award-winning Eco Village community, and a co-president of ISKCON Chowpatty Temple. So let us welcome Gauranga Prabhu to our temple by loudly chanting Hare Krishna mantra one time. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari, 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 Jai Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari, Jai Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari, Jai Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari, Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari, Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana, Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana, Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana, Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana, Yamuna Tira Vanachari, Yamuna Tira Vanachari, Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari, 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 Jaya Radha कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा कुंज बिहारी।
जय विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य श्रीमद डिवाइन ग्रेस शिला भाई चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत गोस्वामी महाराज प्रभुपाद की, इस्कॉन संस्थापकाचार्य श्री प्रभुपाद की जय। ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोदरक श्रीमद डिवाइन ग्रेस श्रील भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर प्रभुपाद की, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की, नामाचार्य श्रील हरिदास ठाकुर की। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री द्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद की। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड श्री गिरि गोवर्धन की। ब्रजभूमि श्री वृंदावन धाम की, पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र श्री जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की, नवद्वीप मायापुर धाम की, गंगा माई की, जमुना माई की, भक्ति देवी की, कृष्ण भक्ति प्रदायिनी श्रीमती तुलसी महारानी की, कलियुग पावन हरिनाम संकीर्तन की, हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की, श्रील प्रभुपाद ट्रांसेंडेंटल बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन की, इस्कॉन ऑस्टिन धाम की, ताई गौर प्रेमानंदी। All glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya। Om Ajnanatimidandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha। Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी इति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम राम। Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 1, Questions by Vidura. Shri Shuka Uvacha Evam Etad Pura Prashto Maitreyo Bhagavan Kila Kshatra Vayam Vanam Pravashtena Tyaktva Swagraham Riddhimat। Shri Shuka Uvacha Evametat Pura Prashto Maitreyo Bhagavan Kila Kshatravanam Pravashtena Tyaktva Swagraham Riddhimat। श्रीशुक उवाच एवमेतत्पुरा पृष्टो मैत्रेयो भगवान् किल क्षत्रावनं प्रविष्टेन त्यक्त्वा स्वगृहमृध्यनत्। श्रीशुक उवाच एवमेतत्पुरा पृष्टो मैत्रेयो भगवान् किल कस्मात् क्षत्रावनं प्रविष्टेन त्यक्त्वा स्वगृहमृध्यनत्। Chant. Somebody.
एवं एतत् पुरा मैत्रेयो भगवान् किल क्षत्रावनं प्रविष्टेन त्यक्त्वा स्वगृहं वृद्धिमत्।
श्रीशुक उवाच एवमेतत्पुरा पृष्टो मैत्रेयो भगवान् किल पावनं प्रविष्टेन त्यक्त्वा स्वगृहं वृद्धिमत्।
एतत्पुरा पृष्टो मैत्रेयो भगवान् किल प्रविष्टेन स्वगृहं वृद्धिमत्।
Shri Shuka Uvacha. Shri Shukadev Goswami said, Evam thus, etad this, pura formerly, prishtaha being asked, Maitreya, the great sage Maitreya, Bhagavan, his grace, Kila, certainly, Kshatra, by Vidura, Vanam, forest, Pravishtena, entering, Tyaktva, renouncing, Swagraham, own house, Riddhimat, prosperous. Translation by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Shukadeva Goswami said, after renouncing his prosperous home and entering the forest, King Vidura, the great devotee, asked this question of his grace, Maitreya Rishi. Yadva ayam mantra kridvo bhagavan akileshvara pauravendra graham hitva pravishesha atmasat kritam. What else is there to say about the residential house of the Pandavas? Sri Krishna, the Lord of everything, acted as your minister. He used to enter that house as if it were his own, and he did not take any care of Duryodhana's house. So Srila Prabhupada writes in this beautiful verse, commentary, that what is Vrindavan? Vrindavan is the place where Krishna enjoys with his transcendental senses. Aradhya Bhagavan Brajeshatanayas Tadhama Vrindavanam. Vrindavana Ramyasthan Divya Chintamani Dham Ratana Mandira Manohara So Krishna has transcendental senses, and with those senses, when he enjoys, that particular place is non-different from Krishna, and that is known as Vrindavan. And therefore, Vrindavan is permeated with Krishna's internal potency, which is the Antaranga Shakti of Krishna. There is no distress in Vrindavan. There is only growing ecstasy in Vrindavan. Yatra naisarga durvaira sahasandre mrigadaya mitrani iva ajitavasa dhrutaruttarshakadikam. Vrindavan is described as naisarga durvairaha. Naturally, there is no enmity. Durvairaha. Vaira means enmity. Vaira means one has feelings of animosity. Na yatra durvaira. There is no enmity. How? Naisarga. Naturally. There is no animosity at all. Sahasam mrigadaya. Humans, animals, they all live harmoniously with each other. Mitrani eva, just like their friends. Ajitavasa, that is the home of Ajit, Krishna, who was conquered by the love of his devotees in Vrindavan. Dhrutarshakadikam, and there is also no presence of thirst, hunger, all these feelings in Shri Vrindavan Dham. Prabhupada was in Vrindavan. One monkey suddenly enters Prabhupada's quarters and takes away Prabhupada's shoe and runs and sits on top of a tree. The servant who is serving Prabhupada takes a stick in his hand and starts chasing the monkey and starts showing a stick to the monkey. Prabhupada said, this will not work in Vrindavan. If you want to retrieve your shoe, my shoe, there is a different technique. So Prabhupada took a banana in his hand and showed the banana to the monkey. The monkey showed the shoe to Prabhupada. Prabhupada took the shoe further close, the banana closer to the monkey. The monkey brought the shoe closer to Prabhupada. Then Prabhupada brought the banana closer. The monkey took away the banana and kept the shoe also, and did not give the shoe. And Prabhupada said, just see, the monkey knows how to negotiate. So Vrindavan is a place where all the different human beings are living with the idea that Krishna is the center. And the monkeys of Vrindavan were associates of Lord Rama. When Lord Ram attacked Lanka, and when Ram attacked Lanka, the monkeys were supporting Ram. But they were on a marathon and there was no chance for Lord Ram to be able to feed the monkeys appropriately. So the monkeys questioned Ram. We are working so hard. Forget minimum wages. You are not giving us minimum food also. So Lord Ram said, let us keep account of this, because in this Leela, I am in an emergency. Because in the next few days, if we do not attack Lanka, defeat Ravana, take Sita back and reach Bharat, before a deadline, Bharat has taken a vow, he will give up his body. So therefore we do not have time to make arrangements for your food and this and that and everything. But I will record this fact that there is a lot of prasadam due from me to you. And I will equal this deficit in the next incarnation, when I come as Krishna. When I come as Krishna in Vrindavan, you will all appear in Vrindavan with me, but believe me, there will be no deadline. We will only relax. And I'll go and steal butter, distribute to you unconditionally. So that is why Krishna is surrounded by the monkeys of Vrindavan. Mitrani iva ajita vasa druta rut tarshakadikam. Braj is a place where everyone feels that Krishna is their life's center. So here the context is, there are the Pandavas and there are the Kauravas. So Krishna spent time in the Pandavas' house and he would not visit the Kauravas. And Duryodhana was trying his best to attract and entice Krishna to come and visit. But Krishna is Bhavagrahi, he is Bhaktavatsal. Duryodhana told Krishna, I have prepared a chappan bhog, 56 items for you. Krishna, you must come to my house. Krishna said, one goes to somebody's house only in two conditions. Either they are very hungry or they have excessive affection for the other person. In your case, it is neither. Neither I am hungry, nor I have affection for you, nor you have for me. So what is the point of coming to your house? And therefore Krishna went to Vidura's house, although Vidura had very simple things to offer. So therefore, it is described here that the house of the Pandavas was source of transcendental bliss for the Lord. House of the Pandavas was as good as Vrindavan. Pragada premere e swabhava achar Vijadukka vigama dhira nukuri vichar. Krishna is conquered and overcome by love of his devotees. When the devotees offer their love, Krishna is conquered. Pariksha korite gatam, koila agyadam, pariksha hoila shishi, hoila devan. Lord Gopal tested Madhavendra Puri. He put various obstacles in his journey to see whether he is still determined to go and get the chandan for Gopal. But when he saw that he is determined, he saw that he is willing to go through all difficulties and challenges without giving up hope. Lord Krishna was convinced that he is serious in his bhakti. One's seriousness in the path of devotion and love is symptomized only by one thing. How do I know whether I am serious and sincere on the path of devotion or spirituality or not? There is only one symptom. Bhautatma Purusha Krishna Pada Moolam Nimunchati Muktah Sarva Pariklesha Pantha Sharanidha. Krishna Pada Moolam Namunchati. A devotee does not give up his service in any circumstance. Steadiness in service is the symptom of sincerity in selfless devotion. If one is steady, then he is serious. Unsteady, not so serious. So therefore, Madhavendra Puri is described here that Pragada Premir, he had deep, deep love. And what was the symptom of that? Nijadukha bighanadhira nakore bijay. He did not at any time consider any personal inconvenience as too big for him. Nija dukkha. He was not focused on what is a personal difficulty I'm going through. So therefore, Srila Prabhupada writes in this particular purport, what is the definition of love? Love is service without selfish consideration. Service without selfish consideration. And what are the four considerations in any relationship? In any relationship, there are four challenges and obstacles: scarcity, impediment, discomfort, unhappiness. In spite of scarcity, impediment, discomfort, and unhappiness, when the relationship continues, it is a relationship of love. The servant is not focused on his or her situation. They are focused on how can we please our master. That's called selfless. So you may think, Hare, but that is not the understanding of love we have heard. I have seen many love stories in Bollywood. The word love is liberally used. There are so many love songs, so many novels glorifying love. So many plots have been described about love. What is this new definition of love you are bringing in? So the standard idea of love in this world is that which should give me pleasure. But love technically means that which gives the other person whom one is serving pleasure. The myth about love is all about pleasure. But the myth is debunked by the Shastras, that the love is, yes, all about pleasure. Whose pleasure? The master's pleasure. And love is all about the willingness of the servant to go through unlimited, continuous, constant pain to serve the beloved. After knowing this, only one should sign up within the University of Love. Otherwise, you will take admission for the wrong course. So in 2004, Radhanath Maharaj said, we should have Govinda's restaurant in Chowpatty. So we said, okay, we'll have. Then he said, we should have pizza in Govinda's. So in 2004-5 period, we did not have much idea about pizza. So the only pizza we knew was what one brahmachari used to make. He would take a bread, put lot of tomato ketchup on top, fry some brinjal and put it on that and throw some cheese on it. And he used to say, this is pizza. And we were hungry brahmacharis. We did not mind anything. And we would tell him, if this is your pizza, so be it. As long as you're feeding us, we are fine. So when Maharaj said, we should have pizza, I told him, that pizza doesn't seem to be worth selling. Maharaj said, which pizza are you talking about? I said, so then Maharaj only said, the one which you guys feed me. I said, that's the only pizza we know. He said, that is not pizza, that is perverted reflection of pizza. And then we had a devotee who came from New York, Kaustubha Prabhu, and he taught us how to make pizza. Then we realized, oh, this is pizza. So we were using that word liberally. But that word was actually referring to some other experience. So the world is using the word love liberally, not knowing the actual context. And therefore the book which actually defines and describes love is the Srimad Bhagavatam. The Srimad Bhagavatam is a manual of love. Where when a person goes through pain in the service of Krishna, even though Krishna may be right next to them like the Pandavas, had the privilege of having Krishna with them. But although they went through difficulties, Vishan Mahagni Purushada Darshana Asat Sabhava Vanavasa Krichrata. They were poisoned, they were sent to the forest, the house was burned, their wives was disrobed, so many things. But the Pandavas, through all those calamities and difficulties, as Bhishma Dev looks at the Pandavas and says, Yatra dharma suto raja, gadapani prakodara, Krishna stri gandivam chapam, smurta Krishna stato vipat. The Pandavas is such an ideal family. Yudhishthira is dharma personified, Bhima is power personified, Arjuna is loyalty, Arjuna is skill personified, Nakula and Sahadeva are loyalty personified, Krishna is well-wisher personified. All the favorable forces are together in one family. Who would imagine that such a powerful family would go through calamity? But they went through vipatti after vipatti, disaster after disaster. But the unique feature of the Pandavas is through all those disasters, they never turned to Krishna and asked, why are we going through this? Why are we going through this? They never asked. They simply continued serving. So therefore, this material world is a place of suffering. Dukkhalayam ashashvatam. Material world is a place where there is continuously challenges. So Prabhupada was asked by one reporter, Swamiji, what is the purpose of this creation? Why the world is created? Prabhupada said, for enjoyment. The reporter started smiling. Prabhupada said, not yours, Krishna's enjoyment. You are simply supposed to be a servant. So the Pandavas, they are an example of selfless service. They were engaged in selflessly serving Krishna. And it is said here, the Lord identified the house with his own self. The house of the Pandavas was as good as Vrindavan. Because Krishna would come. Yujandaloke bata bhuri bhava lokam tunanam manayovyanti yesham gruhanam vasateti sakshat Gauranga param brahma manushalingam. After Lord Nrsimhadev appears to Prahlad, and this pastime is being narrated by Srimad Narad Muni to Yudhishthira Maharaj. Yudhishthira Maharaj suddenly feels, oh, Prahlad is so fortunate. Lord took a unique, never seen before incarnation just for Prahlad. What a special mercy Prahlad is getting. I am not so fortunate. My situation is not like that. So when we are in the association of devotees, sometimes it is quite common to start feeling by comparing with other devotees. This devotee is doing like this. Seva, I am not able to do. They are doing this, I am not. So comparison is the thief of joy. So when we start comparing, we will lose our satisfaction. Each one of us is unique in our ability to contribute and to serve. And therefore, we should focus on what we can do. We had one brahmachari in Chopati who did not know how to sing. So every time in program, he would be singing same Prabhupada dhun. And that kirtan also would sound like loud japa only, because he did not have any musical sense only. After 4 years, the congregation said, last 4 years you are singing same tune. Can we have a different tune for a change? Is there a problem? Tunes are free, right? He said, okay, I will try. He comes to the temple and tells one devotee who knows singing, teach me a new tune. The devotee teaches him a new tune. When he teaches him, this brahmachari thinks he has understood. That's what happens when you don't know singing. You hear and you think you have understood. When he goes to the program, he sits in front of the audience and switches on the mic, forgets that tune, sings the same old tune. The congregation is like, we told you to sing a new tune, what happened? Yeah, I tried, Baba. What to do? The tune just disappeared, what can I do? So they said, next time you prepare in such a way that the tune appears. So he goes to the temple, tells the brahmachari, Hare, you are not a good teacher. Your tunes you are teaching is not sticking in my head. So the brahmachari, that other teacher, told him, there is only one way you will remember. Your program starts at 7 o'clock. I'll teach you the tune at 6 o'clock. Continuously go on singing that tune till you sit on the Vyasasana. So if you don't stop singing, you will not forget. So that's what they did. He taught him at 6 o'clock. He went through the train singing all the way. People in the train were thinking, oh, what a blissful guy. He went on singing, came to the program, and when he came to the program, he offered obeisances and said, Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishta, and got up, forgot the tune. So then he realized, okay, I don't think I have the ability to offer service through music to Krishna. But idam hi pumsas tapasas shvitas shutas sava svishtasya suktasya cha buddhi tattayoho avichyuto pir kavibhir nirupito yaduttama shloka gunanuvarnanam. But Krishna says you offer through whatever ability you have. The important thing is you must offer. And the effort to offer is accepted by the Lord. The details of the offering is not what the Lord considers, but the mood of the offering. And therefore here, that is what is described, that the palace of the Pandavas was Vrindavan, because Vrindavan is a place where every person is trying to selflessly serve Krishna, even at the cost of going through pain. And that's why Srila Prabhupada took the instruction of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, given in 1922 and in 1965 at the age of 69. He didn't consider personal pain. Unknown land, unknown place, unknown people. No support, no facility. He says, no, I will depend on Krishna. It's not that Prabhupada did not try in India. He tried. He gave this book, Easy Journey to Other Planets, to one of his friends in Jhansi. The friend looked at the book and said, what will I get by reading this? Prabhupada said, you read this book, Easy Journey to Other Planets, you will go to Goloka Vrindavan. The friend said, after going to Golok, can I come back to Jhansi? Prabhupada said, no, you can't come back to Jhansi. He said, I don't want it. That was the kind of people at that point were meeting Srila Prabhupada. So when Prabhupada came to the West, he inspired people in practice of Krishna consciousness. And Prabhupada in his lectures was saying, in the 26th Avenue when he would give lectures, Prabhupada said, I am not this body, I am the soul. So some of the hippies thought Prabhupada is referring to himself, that he is not the body. He is a soul. But we are all body only. Then they asked, Sir, Swamiji, how we will become the soul? You are also soul. Oh, we are also soul. We didn't realize that. So Prabhupada engaged them in Krishna's service. A group of people who had no previous idea about Krishna. So one of the Prabhupada's original disciples, he looked at Prabhupada typing on his typewriter very slowly, one key at a time. So he was a fast typist, this devotee. So he told Prabhupada, if you give me some of these transcripts of yours, I'll type it quickly. So Prabhupada gave a bunch. He went, typed and brought it next day only. Prabhupada, oh, you finished? In one day? Yeah, this is my regular stuff. You have any more, Swamiji? Prabhupada said, yeah, come in. Prabhupada took him to the room. There was a big trunk. Prabhupada opened it. It was filled with Prabhupada's handwritten notes. And Prabhupada said, I have all of this now. This devotee said, Prabhupada, this is a lifetime of typing. Prabhupada said, no, several lifetimes. Because this is only some part of the Bhagavatam. Then after Bhagavatam we have Mahabharata, then Ramayana, Vedanta Sutra, Upanishads. We can give everything. But time is of essence. And therefore Srila Prabhupada focused on the Bhagavatam, the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Nectar of Devotion, and few other books, including the Bhagavad Gita. So therefore, Prabhupada also followed in the footsteps of the Pandavas by being in a situation of a lot of personal pain at various points, but never gave up the order of Srila Saraswati Thakur. Took that as his real wealth. So Prabhupada asked in this question, the house of the Pandavas was as good as Vrindavan, and Vidura should not have given up that place of transcendental bliss. So the reason for Vidura's quitting was not family misunderstanding. Rather, Vidura took the opportunity to meet Maitreya and discuss transcendental knowledge. So it was an excuse which he was taking to go and meet Maitreya. So Vidura, for him, disturbance or due to worldly affairs is insignificant, but such disturbances are favorable for higher realization. That's what Vidura is taking the excuse of the family misunderstanding and conflict and taking that as an opportunity to go and hear from Maitreya. So when we go through difficulty, what should be our response is revealed by Vidura. A materialist believes in political response. Someone fights with me, I fight back. Cutthroat. In certain situations, one may have to do that. Second is emotional response. Oh, why this happened? This should not have happened with me. Oh. And the third is devotional response. So Vidura is not showing political response, although he was prime minister. He is not showing emotional response, that sitting in front of Maitreya and only complaining about, you know what Duryodhan did to me? And you know what, that my elder brother Dhritarashtra is such an idiot. He never defended me. So many years I have served. So it was not emotional response. It was not political response. It was a devotional response. He just sat and said, Duryodhan, Dhritarashtra are simply instruments to deliver me my karma. Let me not be angry with the instruments of my karma. If while eating the food, you bite your own tongue with your own teeth, whom will you slap? Yourself only. So when you perceive that someone is doing injustice to me, someone is misbehaving with me, you should see that person has been chosen as an instrument to deliver to you what you have ordered. Because you may go and order in a restaurant, bring me 2 pizzas. And then you are busy texting and WhatsApping somebody, and then you forget that you have ordered. And after half an hour, the guy comes with 2 pizzas. And you say, what is this? 2 pizzas. Who ordered? You only ordered. I ordered? Are you sure? So therefore, we have ordered many things in past lives. That is being delivered by Krishna in this life. Sometimes hot, sometimes sweet, sometimes very spicy. So whatever we are, given, we should just accept it as Krishna's prasad or mercy. How the Pandavas are accepting. Tatte anukampam su sam ikshaman. Iksha is to see, samiksha is to perfectly see, su samiksha is to perfectly see. That what is being delivered is not by this person. He is only an instrument to deliver what is due to me. That is called su sam iksha, even to see from last lives. So that is basically the theme of this third canto, that Vidura, in the situation of great personal challenge, difficulty and change, because change impacts everybody. The greatest cause and the only cause of fear and anxiety in life is change. Vidura was prime minister for 100 years, suddenly asked to get out. What a change. I have been to ICUs in hospitals. People got heart attack and I asked, why you got heart attack? Somebody 2 levels younger than me was given promotion above me. I said, but you are still getting your salary, no? But it is such a change. How can I accept it? So the business schools, management schools, MBAs, they are only teaching how you can get that position. The business schools are not teaching how you will respond when that person gets that position. One is not equipped and trained to deal with changes around us. That's why we need spirituality. Because out of the 5 topics of Gita, Ishvara, Jiva, Prakriti, Kala, Karma, Prakriti changes, Kala changes, Karma changes. Jiva does not change, Ishvara does not change, and the eternal service between Jiva and Ishvara does not change. To be obsessed only with exploiting, enjoying Prakriti through Kala and Karma is Bhoga. And when that Bhoga gives suffering, the Jiva tries to connect with Ishvara. That is called Yoga. The effect of Bhoga is Chinta, the effect of Yoga is Chintan or contemplation. And spirituality is supposed to keep us in the state of Chintan. Take the flight up. And when you look down the buildings from the flight, everything looks small. That is the process of elevating your consciousness. So that is something which the Pandavas are demonstrating through their example, and Vidura is also showing. Yes, change will be there, but how to deal with that change? All traditions, all religions, all holy places, all open early in the morning. Beer bars, liquor dens, they all what time? Early or late? You never hear of any church or synagogue or gurudwara or mosque or temple opening at night only. Right? So many things have changed in life. Why not the timing of these places? Because it is expected that you begin the day by preparing yourself to cope with the virus of change which is going to attack you in the day. The viruses are waiting to attack you. What is that virus? The virus of change. So if you have to protect yourself from the virus of change, you need to get vaccinated. And do you get vaccinated before the virus attacks or after the virus attacks? Before. So therefore, early morning is when the change has not yet begun. The only thing which changes is you have to get up. The alarm rings and you have to get up. One brahmachari was leaving the ashram after a few years, and I was taking his exit interview. Why are you leaving? Prasad not good? He said, no, prasadam was good. Devotees didn't deal with you well. No, they were very good. Place of stay was not good. No, facility was good. And any changes you want, we should do? He said, yeah, only one thing, make Mangal Arati 10 o'clock in the morning. I said, sorry, that is not possible. So why Mangal Arati is 4 o'clock in the morning, 4:30 in the morning? Why everybody say, pray to God in the morning? Why prayer is recommended in morning? Why party is recommended at night? So prayer and party, these are two opposite items. Prayer is to prepare yourself to cope with the virus of change. So therefore, prayer is the vaccine against the virus of change. And what is the content of that prayer? My dear Lord, from 9 o'clock in the morning till 9 o'clock at night, millions of things will change in my life today. But I know 3 things will not change. I and the soul will not change. You are the Supreme Lord, Ishwar, Krishna, you will not change. And my ability to serve you, even in the worst calamity, will not change. Nobody can take away my power, my desire, my fervor, my intensity to serve you. So when you know you are beginning the day with certain assets which will never change, on the foundation of that, you are prepared to cope with many changes. And then at night also, after the whole day of changes, again you close the day with a prayer. Whatever happened in the day, good, bad, ugly, everything I offer to you. Naranayat samarpayami. That was Vedic culture. Praying to the Lord to give us strength to deal with the change, and then ending the day by acknowledging the Lord's presence through all the changes. That is what prayer is all about. That's why we should be chanting in the morning. And because we do not explain things like this to our younger generation, they don't feel the relevance for this morning sadhana. They don't see how it's going to impact me, how it's going to help me. So there are different types of vaccines. The kind of vaccine which we take is the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. But whatever may be the detail of that vaccine, the purpose is to enable you to be immunized from the virus of change. So now you look back and look at members in your family who would always insist, pray in the morning, do not just take a bath and run away. Offer respects here. It was meant to prepare us to be in this consciousness, to be always be resilient in the midst of all changes. So Vidura is going through such a major catastrophe, being the Prime Minister, He's told to get out. But he's not responding with moroseness, depression, hopelessness. Vidura is helpless, but he's not hopeless. And the literature which gives unlimited hope is the Srimad Bhagavatam. And the essence of Srimad Bhagavatam is, even if you are at the pinnacle of helplessness, how you can avoid hopelessness. And that's what the hearer of the Bhagavatam, Parikshit, is going through. He's helpless to avoid death, but he's not hopeless. He's full of hope, hearing Krishna Katha. So these are a few thoughts from this beautiful section of the Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, which we have inaugurated today at your center. And the Bhagavatam is meant for you not to keep in your home to do arati. It is meant for you to open and read. Somebody's house I had gone many years ago, and I told that person, can you just give me the Bhagavatam so that I can speak? And he opened the brand new set in front of my eyes, taking the Bhagavatam out of the plastic cover. I said, oh, you never opened it? You never read it? When was the time you purchased? Oh, I can't remember when I purchased, many years ago. You never opened it? He said, Prabhu, I was waiting for you only to inaugurate. So the Bhagavatam is meant to be our constant companion, to enable our devotional response, not a political response and not an emotional response. So we are very grateful to Srila Prabhupada for giving us this in English so that we can access it. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Prabhu, do you take questions? Devotees,
Hare Krishna Prabhu, that's a wonderful lecture. Many of my questions answered, but I have a question again, one more. So, question is, Pandavas, even though they are undergoing so much turbulence, they never turn to Krishna and complain why we are facing these. So, they understood that because they are ordered in the like what they desired in previous lives, or because of that only coming, because of that understanding or anything. So how to stop that kind of orders? So unknowingly.
Stop what?
Ordering, desiring.
Desiring.
So we unknowingly asks that I want the challenges in the job. When challenges comes too much, then we are not able to handle. So how to stop that kind of desires? There are two
If
questions.
challenges come in job, then begin a startup to experience different flavor of challenges. So, the reason we are here in association is just like when you want water, in India you put filter water, right? Why is the filter put? To purify the water. So similarly, the process of Krishna consciousness and spirituality is a desire filter. So Srimad Bhagavatam and the holy name is filtering our desire. So you have just begun the process of filtering. It will take some time before the filtration will happen. Lord Chaitanya says, na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim kavitam va. Before coming to Krishna consciousness, our prayer was same, only na was not there. And Lord Chaitanya knows in Kali Yuga, you have to be very, very careful with every word. So he inserted na before every word. Otherwise people will think, na dhanam janam sundarim kapita. Oh, okay, oh, na dhanam only. Rest is allowed. Na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim. So he is putting na before. Because Kali Yuga means little freedom you give. They will interpret in their own way. So therefore you have just begun the process of coming in association, starting to chant gradually. The process, let the process take its time. And keep reading about the desires of others who are praying. Through that, your desires will get purified. So we are in a desire filtration unit, which is this temple. This is only meant to filter our desires. Okay?
So whenever we get any reversals, we need not ask anything to Krishna and simply we tolerate and continue bhakti, or?
Artificially you can't do.
Yes.
Right now you be honest and ask him whatever you want.
Okay.
What can be done?
Okay.
Akama sarvakamo va mokshakamo dharati. Tivrena bhakti yogena jeta purusham param. So the Krishna says, begin with relationship with me. Start somewhere. If somebody has diabetes and doctor says, no sweet, so he'll collapse. So he'll say, okay, limit this much. And then gradually decrease the dose. So like that, you also kind of transform your desires gradually. When I was Pujari in Chopati temple, one young boy came and offered, one bag and said, offer this to the deities. I looked inside the bag, there was a pair of boxing gloves. I said, this is strange, you can't offer to Krishna boxing gloves. He said, I just attended Gita course. They said, whatever you get new, you should offer to Krishna. I'm a boxer. I have purchased these new gloves. I want to offer. You are a pujari. Don't ask too many questions. Just offer. So I offered. Gave him back the boxing gloves. And I said, what you will do now with it? He said, whoever I hit will get Gopinath's Mahaprasad. So you couldn't tell him at that point, give up this boxing, it is frivolous sports. He would have hit me and punched me on the nose only. So you have to go gradually. Okay?
Thank you.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. So you told about like a pre-end party. So pre-end party starts at midnight, like night, and praying starts at morning. So how we can take about celebrating Krishna Janmashtami in midnight?
Hare, that is once in a year, Baba. Come on. What is your name?
Vittal Prabhu.
For this question, you have to give double donation now for Janmashtami. You are questioning Janmashtami itself. What is this? If we announce that every Sunday, night 12 o'clock, we are going to have a program, then your question is valid. once in a year, that's when Krishna appears. So if your boss calls you and says, we are going to give you 10 times your current salary as bonus. And then he says, but I'll give you the check at 12 o'clock at night. Please come to the office. Will you go or not? You won't say, Hare, it is not my regular duty time. You say, of course. Any time, sir. 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. So therefore, when one is getting such a big gift, time is of no relevance. The mood of expectation is such that one forgets the time. Okay?
Sure, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you.
Hare.
Okay, so thank you very much.
Yeah. Oh, one more question, Prabhu.
Yeah, somebody else?
Hare Krishna Guruji. What is the same question what Prabhu asked, the pizza ordering and what we are getting in the form of people. So going back to Najanam, Nadanam, and how to deal with all the hypocrisy around people, emotions, and I know, means like, so my offense, like to clarify, like we had to do more chanting, more sadhana, more bhakti, and more devotional service, but still the train of thought of hypocrisy in dealing with people and emotions, how to overcome that? Like if we are close eyes and do chanting also, it keeps on coming back. How to deal?
You get affected by other people's hypocrisy, you're saying?
Yes, yes, Guruji.
Yeah, I think the reality is we are all admitted in hospital. So you are admitted in your bed. The doctor is coming and giving injections to you. You are taking the injection and the medicine. That injection and medicine is for your disease and your recovery. If the patient in the neighboring bed takes the medicine in the hand and throws it behind, whenever the doctor comes or the nurse comes and gives the medicine, he takes, and when the nurse turns around, he throws it. What can you do? Will you get inspired to throw your medicine also? Because if you are meditating too much on that, that's what you will start doing.
That is what happened. Absolutely, Guruji.
So you focus on your treatment. Let the doctor and the hospital deal with him. You are paying bill for your treatment. Okay?
Thanks.
We have enough on our plate.
Arvind, Prabhu.
Okay.
Namaste. I had a good question. So I'm trying to meditate and I want to hear it from the monk. So what are some of the best practices to start how to meditate?
Meditation is all about rekindling a relationship between the Jiva and the Ishwar. That's called yoga. So how do you meditate on that relationship? There are multiple avenues of doing that. Basically, there are 4. One is you meditate by offering your actions to him. That the energy for acting is given by him, let me offer. That's called karma yoga. You meditate by offering your mind, thinking that, let me offer my thoughts. That is jnana yoga. You meditate your intelligence by focusing on the Supreme. That is called Ashtanga yoga. But when you offer your own ego, identity, to serve him, that is called as bhakti yoga. So we here are practitioners of Bhakti Yoga. But in the Hindu tradition, you will find all the other yogas also, and Krishna also includes all of them in Bhagavad Gita. So this is like one particular, so meditation is just like medication. What medication is for? Medication is for treating the pain of the body. To make the body pain-free, there is medication. To make the mind pain-free, there is meditation. So within medication, there is allopathy, naturopathy, homeopathy. If nothing works, then there is Tirupati. But you go to Sampati. The important thing is you take medication. No, there can be endless debate on allopathy is better or homeopathy is better or naturopathy is better. To have a debate within the hospital is fine. But to pass by the hospital saying that, "Arey, these fellows are always fighting, this is better, but forget the hospital, let me go to beer bar only. That is the best medicine for me." So that is useless. So like that, there is Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Raj Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, this yoga, that yoga. And there are so many approaches, so many opinions, so many thoughts. If you're not properly trained, you'll get confused. Sometimes the debates about the medicine confuses the patient so much, he decides, I will just go on a juice fast. So you should know that, yes, there are proper techniques which can be learned under the proper guidance. So here, what you should do is understand the basics. And once you understand the basics from the Bhagavad Gita, you can make your own choice. So when you come to the Hare Krishna center, you could learn the basics of the Gita, learn all the different elements of meditation being taught in the Gita. Then you can choose whether you want to also do what we are doing or you want to do your own thing, some other thing. And then accordingly you can choose your further association. So it is not that everybody who comes here has to follow what we are doing only, but naturally if somebody goes to a allopathy hospital, you will expect that they are coming for allopathic treatment only. But there may be a few rare cases who may come to allopathic hospital to get better idea about the anatomy and everything so that they can take better Ayurvedic treatment. So you could be in that category also. Okay?
Any questions?
Hare Baba.
Okay. So with that, we're going to do a quick thank you note. Veena Mataji is going to do, Prabhu. And you can announce the program, maybe.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Prabhu, you discussed from Canto 3, Chapter 1, verse 1 and 2, mainly on why the Krishna had affection for Pandava's house. It's because the house of Pandavas was just like Vrindavan for Krishna. And Vrindavan is permeated for Krishna's eternal potency. First time I heard why Krishna was stealing butter and giving it to the monkeys. It was a beautiful pastime. Thank you for sharing. And you very nicely shared a lot of Srila Prabhupada's pastimes throughout the class. And then the key point was why a devotee, devotee does not give up his service in any circumstance is when he has steadiness in the service. That is very, very important. And love is a service without selfish condition. So only when we think of pleasing the master, that's when we have true love. That was the definition and not the other permeated definitions that we see in the material world. And mainly Pandavas were selflessly serving Krishna. And then we discussed about how comparing is a thief of joy and how change is the only cause of misery. So beautifully explained that and how the things won't change our soul, Krishna as a supreme Lord, and our ability and desire to serve Lord. So beautifully explained, Prabhu, about sadhana and glories of Srimad Bhagavatam. It was such a wonderful and enlightening class. I'm sure I echo everyone's words. And it's so wonderful. We have always seen you on YouTube, but seeing you in person is amazing. We're so, so fortunate that you have come to our temple. Thank you very much, Prabhu. Devotees, we have evening class. It's at 6:30 today evening. It's also Ekadashi and Purushottam month. It's a great fortune to have Prabhu here. So please come in the evening. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.